Looking for tips to improve time tracking for accountants? Managing your own work schedule can be grueling enough, but throw in managing that of your teams. Whether you're working in a remote environment or actually in the office, can be a real pain. So let's talk about some tips that'll help you and your team stay on deadline and maximize your billable hours, all while maintaining some semblance of sanity. Tip number 1, get organized. We recognize that create a to-do list isn't exactly revolutionary advice, but the manner and consistency with which you create and maintain these lists can make all the difference in how effective they are. Here are some tips for maximizing the common to-do list. Set self-imposed deadlines, even if no one's looking but you. Prioritize daily tasks, attacking an order of importance. Block time for important tasks each week, scheduling them in your calendar as you would a meeting or appointment. Beware of task creep. If you're adding tasks to your daily to-do list every day, you'll never get done and you'll always feel behind. When a new task pops up, unless it's truly urgent, add it to the agenda for another day. And every Friday, jot down a few notes on what you're working on and what needs to get done the following week. That way, you can pick it right up on Monday. Getting organized also applies to managing your employees, especially if they're working remotely. Check in with them regularly and set clear expectations and deadlines on their tasks and projects. Try weekly or bi-weekly meetings to keep everyone on the same page. Then back off and let them get the work done. Micromanaging helps no one. Tip number 2, don't go down rabbit holes. One obvious yet elusive way to improve time tracking for accountants: stop wasting time. Whether it's searching for a specific file, emailing an in-depth explanation, or browsing clickbait articles online, avoid spending hours getting sucked into any one thing. If it's something you must do, set a time limit and stick to it. Tip number 3, use a time tracking tool like Cloud Access. When the clock is ticking, literally, you're less likely to allow yourself to get distracted. Many accountants find it helpful to keep a time tracking tool within view of their desktop at all times, making it all but impossible to forget that the clock is ticking. Rather than spending time tracking time manually and hoping your staff does too, I'm talking pen, paper, and spreadsheets, which is going to leave room for human error. Find a time tracking tool that'll do it all for you and won't make mistakes. TPS Cloud Access is the perfect tool. This technology makes tracking time as easy as clicking a button on your screen. It's user-friendly and adjusts to your needs and preferences, making it easy for you to keep track of your own work without having to backtrack and check your calendar or call log when trying to justify time and productivity patterns throughout the month. Whether you bill clients by the hour and need to justify your schedule, or have a few work-from-home employees that seem to be spending far too much time on certain projects, time tracking tools create a verifiable record of the time spent on accounts. Tip number 4, invest in tools you can use remotely. Work has changed due to COVID-19. Even if your firm is planning a return to the office, chances are there will be at least some remote work done in the future. Companies are noticing the benefits of it, and more employees than ever will come to expect it. Offering remote working opportunities, full or part-time, may become a major part of the hiring process. The goal here is to improve time tracking for accountants wherever they are, not just from the office. In fact, it stands to reason that a strong time tracking for accountants is even more important in remote settings, where working conditions may be less than ideal, or in this guy's case, perfectly ideal. At the end of the day, if you can trust your remote workers and yourself to be as productive from home as you were from an office, you can save a great deal on overhead costs like office space, supplies, and even liability insurance. TPS Cloud Access makes it easy to see where your company hours are going by date, client, employee, and even by project. Tip number 5, use dual time tracking. Everyone has their own time tracking preferences, whether that's keeping track of time throughout the day and entering it at the very end, or using a start and stop timer during active work periods. Using the start and stop timer method offers the most accurate time tracking results, but there are, however, times when it may make more sense to use manual time entry. If a client calls unexpectedly while you're away from your computer and you're stuck on a half-hour call, you need to be able to input that time manually. Of course, TPS Cloud Access includes both of these methods. Tip number 6, workflow makes the world go round. Time is money, especially when talking about accounting, so taking tasks like monthly invoicing, onboarding new clients or employees, and sending deadline reminders out, and turning those into automated processes can be a huge time saver. TPS Cloud Access saves its users hours thanks to online tutorials, on-call support specialists, automated billing processes, and more. In addition to time tracking software, Cloud Access also generates workflow tracking and reports to help monitor and justify your team's time. And finally, tip number 7, don't let your clients push you around. Setting boundaries on what is and isn't your accounting firm's responsibility is the first step towards a healthy client relationship. Setting deadlines for delivery and ensuring your clients know how much of your time they get each month is a close second. Don't be afraid to tell clients you have a hard stop, unless they want the bill for the extra hour spent on the phone chatting about the weather. This is why time tracking for accountants is so important. No matter the client or the employee, time tracking will help keep the work on track and show your clients exactly where it was spent. To sum it up, staying on track with your work is important. Get the most out of your day, your employees, and your software by implementing these tips to improve time tracking for accountants. And however you choose to manage time tracking for you and your employees, we hope you'll at least take a look at TPS Cloud Access, where we've packed the program with so many great tools and instructional videos to make sure you never get lost while using them. Thank you for watching, and to find out more about TPS, go to tpssoftware.com or get in touch with us by calling 1-888-877-2231. Thank you.